Hello, good morning. Welcome to Friday Lives with Jessica. I am Jessica from Jessica Dawn Coaching, and today I am talking about stress management. Super easy topic to kind of go on and on about for a long time because stress is pretty pervasive in our day-to-day lives. I think what I want to do is kind of touch on it few different kinds of stress. And, the four common ones that I see are time stress, trouble with that word, anticipatory stress, situational stress, and then, wow, I just had a brain fart there. Encounter stress. So like in the moment when stress kind of hits you right off the bat. You weren't expecting it. So when it comes to time stress, one of the easiest ways to manage it is start to incorporate elements of time blocking. So most of us know from day to day what will be taking place in our lives. And so what you can do is block out, what do I need to do? Just from a household perspective, what days are the garbage days, when that's coming, so you can block out, Sunday nights, I bring the garbage and the recycling out because Mondays are garbage day. We have those elements, those predictable elements in our lives that we can plug into our calendars. And when you do that, when you create time boundaries, what you're able to do from that point on is if something unexpected comes up, you can sort of see, what can I Tetris in? I could go on and spend a lot of time on how to manage your calendar. If that's something that you want to explore more, please just pop it in the chat and we can chat about it even more. The other kind of stress that I mentioned earlier, anticipatory stress, that is one of the seeds that anxiety sprouts into. When you're constantly in future space, when you're thinking about things that are coming up, typically what will happen is you start to create scenarios that either, will or will not happen. And that comes from a place of wanting to be prepared. And so there's a lot of positive to that, wanting to be prepared and wanting to know that you're ready to handle whatever. But when that starts to kind of loop and pinball around in your mind, it can, as I said, shift into more of an anxiety experience. And when you're constantly in future-paced thinking, it can increase your blood pressure, increase your heart rate, and just sort of leave you in a state of, ready to be on flight mode. One of the most simple ways, and I say simple, I don't mean that it'll be easy for you, but one of the most simple ways of dealing with that is incorporating practices to help get you into the present moment instead of being so future-paced. So what that can look like is breathing exercises, doing the check-in, what are things that I can notice in my immediate environment? What can I feel? What can I reach out and touch? Lots of strategies to support you with that. Again, if that's something that you want me to talk about more, just pop a comment into the chat box below, and I'm happy to go into it more in depth. When it comes to situational stress, that's a real thing. Stress comes up at any point in our lives. It's part of life. And you can either deal with it really, really well, or it can be something that derails you. So if you are someone who is easily derailed by stressful events that occur on a regular basis in situational stress, it might be good to explore, why that derails you. What are the roots of that derailment? Of course, I can't address that all here. But, what are ways that if you are, that you're working on a project and it's stressful in the moment and you're like, okay, this project is going to be going for 6 weeks, super stressful. What are ways that on a daily basis you can manage that stress? Sure, that can look like taking a bath, making sure that you are keeping connected with friends, that your social connections are strong, that you've got time to unwind at the end of each day. That is a really important component to build in to your life. If it's something that is just heavy, again, I'd encourage you to share what your situational experience is in the group. Where it's a safe space here, and then we can kind of unpack it a little bit more. I'd love to know how you experience it specifically. And then, encounter stress is those things that pop out of nowhere. So that would be, for example, a car accident, right? So in that moment, how do you react? It's normal to have a peak, an anxiety or a stress peak, which is an influx of that stress hormone, adrenaline, which helps you get through that moment. But honoring that norepinephrine that floods your system after to help, what that does is it helps heal that rush of adrenaline and everything so that you don't burn all of your adrenals out. So it's being intentional about that rest time after an encounter stress like that. That's the stress that, if you were chased by a bear, you would be able to get out of the situation and manage it with a very clear head. But afterwards, you need to just really take the time to come down. So, keeping it pretty simple today, hitting high level pieces. Let me know what would be most helpful for you to have me talk about, or even expand on over the course of the coming weeks. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, rest of your week, and I will catch you here next week. Bye for now.